Yo, yo, it's JSF. How y'all doing? So I was watching a video recently, that Hi Fi put out. So shout out to Hi Fi about Street Fighter V and the mental stack and anti-airing and stuff like that. And it's a concept that's I don't see many people, especially people who play. Well, you don't see many people at all talk about it. I've only seen like Keats, Jam, Hi Fi, and those guys really talk about it. But it's a idea, I guess. It's something that's in every fighting game, right? And it's something I've definitely never seen any NRS player or content creator talk about it all. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit, why it's interesting, and kind of why it's a little bit different in Mortal Kombat than other games. But it's in every game, right? Every game is gonna have, like, you're gonna have to deal with the mental stack whether you know it or not. You probably like never say that term or heard that term, but it's something that we all deal with, it, right? It's like how we always talk about, hey, there are no anti-airs in Mortal Kombat. You can't anti-air in this game, right? But clearly there are characters who can anti-air, right? So when we say there's no anti-airing in this game, we don't mean that, like, if you jump, I can't down to you, right? And it's the same thing with Sub-Zero, right? Like, Mortal Kombat is a game that has a dedicated anti-air button, right? And then in other shit in certain situations, depending on the range, right? So this game has a dedicated anti-air button, but there's no anti-airs. And this is something that Dragon touched on in his video, talking about everything wrong with the game is when you're waiting for the anti-air, right? Jumps in this game are really fast, right? And the funny part about this is, right, jumps in other games, like I talked about before, in Street Fighter, or no, in Killer Instinct, jumps have 48 total frames. In this game, jumps have like around 24 total frames by my count. That could be wrong, but that's the count I get every single time I try to count the frames. But even in games like Street Fighter or Killer Instinct, where jumps are a lot slower, they still work, right? Like, you can still jump in on people at low level and high level because there are other options. In this game, jumps are an option, but they're an unreactable option, so they're even more powerful, right? But then you can also dash up grab, and in this game, grabs have way more range than they do in other games, right? Like, from here, I can't throw, but if I get about here, I can grab. In other games, you need to be, like, right in front of them. Like, from here, in Street Fighter, your throw will probably whiff. You know what I mean? So, throws have more range in this game, right? And in this game, like, if you have good movement, right? If you have like wave dashing down, you have good movement. Like, being at this range, you know what I mean? Doing a dash up throw can be dependent on the character, right? Like Fujin or Rain, dash up throw, you're not seeing that coming, right? You know what I mean? So from this range, like the amount of things you have in your mental stack from if you're somebody who's thinking, right? And this is kind of I find this really interesting. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I find this really interesting because I am a very read-based player. I'm big reads. I like literally like to sit back and see what my opponent's gonna do. It's why I lose the first round in almost every game I play, or I give it a life deficit early all the time because I have to read. I don't know what my opponent's gonna do. I don't know if he's a maniac yet. So when the match first starts, I probably get steamrolled a little bit, and then I get a feel for his habits. Like, okay, he's gonna do that. He's gonna knock me down, neutral jump one into something. And then I know how to move from there, right? I can force the neutral at that point. But at round start, like literally just round start first game, for me personally, right? There's so many things in my mental stack that is hard to like know what's coming because a Sub-Zero player can overhead, jump in, slide, dash up, grab, back one, back two. Like, there's so many options from this range, and like there isn't one answer to just deal with them all, right? Like, even if you're crouch blocking, cool. You know what I mean? Like, round start. Now he's already building his KB. Not to mention this move as well, right? This is the God move that people still don't think is that good. This is the God move. Like, I'm sure we all know by now, but that's plus. Like, that's neutral. Like, you know what I mean? That's my +3. If you pressed anything, you just died. Like, you know what I mean? So Mortal Kombat has a habit of having a lot of characters with moves that you can't react to that can hit you from around this space, right? So like in Street Fighter, like in this situation, it would be, hey, is my opponent gonna jump at me? Well, if all you're worried about is a jump, you can anti it very easily, right? Because you're scouting it, you're looking for it. But then it's like, oh, are they gonna dash? It's like, well, in Street Fighter, you can dash check with like a crouch and jab or something, right? And that's kind of all they can hit you with from here. In Mortal Kombat, I can hit you with this. the low. If you jump, I got down 2. I got down back 4. I got down 4 that'll hit you. You know what I mean? If you try to stick out a button or dash up, I got down 4 that'll hit you. And then if my down 4 does hit, it jails into my offense, right? So you have a lot. Not to mention, and the other thing is, like, even like I was just showing with Sub-Zero, if Sub-Zero jumps, it's still not over, right? Because he can alter his air trajectory with a move, right? So once you think, oh, when he jumps, he's gonna throw an axe, now he can jump and do a button, right? And get easy plus frames, right? It's the same with Noob, right? If he jumps, he can teleport, or he can teleport. You know what I mean? He's got options. So even when you jump, and then you can just get the jump kick off, right? It's kind of this is kind of where the problem comes in, because again, like I said, every fighting game, every game is gonna have this, right? There's a certain range where if you're trying to read your opponent, you're gonna go, okay, what are they gonna do in this situation, right? Or what are they gonna do in general, right? Like even from here, from this range, like if I jump from this range, it's am I gonna teleport? Am I gonna teleport? Am I gonna jump kick? Am I gonna just do nothing? Am I gonna neutral jump into slide? You know what I mean? Like there's always a ton of options. And it's great to have options on offense, but I think this game did a really bad job with defense. I think this game did great with offense, right? There's a ton of things you can do on offense. You got different strings, you know what I mean? You got mid strings. Your throws are mad busted. Sub-Zero's literally a 50-50 character, like, you know what I mean? Noob Saibot's a good example. And you can do this with almost any 2 characters. You know, Sub-Zero's got footsie range buttons, low starter, safe hit confirmable, air projectile slide, easy combo start. Like, you have a ton of options at all times. So it makes this game a little harder to be a defensive player. And I'm not just saying, oh, this is why I'm bad at this game, because I'm not even bad at this game. I just get frustrated and I don't like to respect stupidity. That's my biggest issue. I just get tired of dealing with stupid shit, because every single game you play, every single set you play, you hit the reset button in this game where it's like, okay, cool, I figured out how to deal with that dumb shit. I beat this player. Now I find a new player, and now I have to figure out, is he gonna do the same stupid shit the last dude did? And if he did, now I have to retrain him to not deal with it. And it might not work, and he might keep ducking and down to crush and blow you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just frustrating. But yeah, I just think this is an interesting idea, interesting concept. It kind of ties into like reads, reactions, because you have to make reads on your opponent eventually, right? Like it's a big read to just duck, you know, or you can micro duck OS, shit like that. But I don't do shit like that. I just, So I'm usually making reads, so I find it interesting to say like, or to see like, hey, what are all the possibilities your opponent has in this situation, right? Because I feel like Mortal Kombat has more than any other game. Like in Dragon Ball, it can be like, oh, hey, are you gonna super dash? Are you gonna jump back, throw a ki blast or something? But there ain't that much. Are you gonna dive kick or something? In this game, it's are you gonna jump, you know, jump into a hella plus jailing hella plus jump 2? Are you gonna jump into a jump kick, which is slightly less plus, you know what I mean? Depending on how deep you do it. Are you gonna do an air fireball? Are you gonna do nothing? Are you gonna stay on the ground and slide? Are you gonna do a low poke into a special? Are you gonna just do a low poke? You know what I mean? Like there's always so many options. Like I always found it funny when this game first came out, and people will be like, oh, this is better than MKX. MKX was just a guessing game. All you did at MKX was guess over and over again. And I'm like, fam, this game is not different at all. The only time you're really not completely guessing is when you're so far out of that range that they can't reach you. And even against certain characters like Sub-Zero, you're still guessing because he has slide. And this is just one example, right? It's funny because this is part of why I play Spawn. Well, not why I play him. I play Spawn because I enjoy playing Spawn, right? I'll random select the second character for the time being. Perfect. Wait, I can't have stun doubles. Perfect. I like random selecting because it shows like I'm not making shit up. I'm not trying to fool y'all. It's literally you watching it live just like I am. But this is why I play Spawn. And when I do play Spawn, you see me do a lot of stand in 3, 4. The simple reason is, I'll show you, this is, I don't need to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Get them on random, I'm a sweep. Cool, safe. Hold up. All right, from here, punish. I got a little too close. But basically, this will cover all the options of your wake up. Like, you know what I mean? It's like no matter what you do in the situation, this is almost always going to be safe. Like if Johnny Cage jumps at me, this is my best anti-air button. It's not down two. Like my down two can whiff and I can get smoked. This is my best anti-air button for that. If he's trying to, you know what I mean? If he's trying to throw a fireball or something at this range, I can catch him before he does it, right? Now the downside is he can down forward and go under it, but the second hit can catch him. So the reason I bring this up and point this out is it's something you can do to like kind of lower your mental stack, but not really. Kind of, because it doesn't change the options the opponent has, but find your answer that's more universal for the situation, right? Like this is an all-purpose button. Like this is a whiff punish button. It's an anti-air button. It's a hit confirmable, you know, relatively safe button. It's everything I need it to be. If I do this, I can get jumped in on. If I do this, I can get jumped in on. If I do this, I can whiff or it can be low profiled. You know what I mean? There's a reason this is the button I use the most with Spawn. Like there's a whole ass mindset behind it. It's not just, oh, you're just spamming standing three. And it's like, yeah, you keep blocking it or getting hit by it instead of ducking and getting out of the way. You're not, and then whiff punishing or something. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just really important. This is something I find super interesting. I'm really, really, really into the philosophy of fighting games and the whole mindset behind it. Why things, like why you do what you do, why things happen, and why they work the way they do. Sorry. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all didn't, I apologize, but more content coming soon. Please subscribe if you do enjoy it. Hopefully new game coming soon, because this game's all over the damn place. But yeah, oh, last thing, Johnny Cage, same thing, right? He can jump kick. His jump 2 has a great downward arc, so he can do a very early jump in, late jump in, down 4 be mad plus, shadow kick, you know what I mean? And then down 4, and then off down 4, he can DP, like, you know. So this game kind of has like a mental stack overload, I feel like. So it's like if you're thinking in this game, you kind of get punished for thinking. So I say shit like that a lot, but I don't know if I ever really explained what I mean by that. That's basically what I'm saying. It's like this game has like a fucking mental stack overload where you always have to be worried about so many options because you can always get hit by so many things so easily, especially online where there's delayed inputs and, you know, horrible, like you can't react really to anything. You can't react to shit like this in general, but online you really can't. You can't even react to jumps. You can't react to like dash up grab sometimes. You can't tech throws on reaction sometimes. So, you know, that's kind of what I mean. It's kind of just, it's an interesting design. I think it's a terrible way to design a fighting game, but hey man, I haven't made a fighting game yet. One day we'll get there. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all. Y'all stay safe. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. JSF. Peace.